So it's time for us to get into the legal matters. Murtala Inusah is here in the studio, and good morning to you.
Good morning, Lantam.
How are you doing today?
Great, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. The way you are firing this morning is so amazing.
Oh, is that so?
So inspiring.
Inspiring.
Friday action.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday. We love Fridays.
And you are adding that we should say thank God it's Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
You should love Mondays. This year, don't say you don't like Mondays.
Personally, I don't like Mondays.
Why?
But you are saying I should like Mondays.
Yes. Mondays. You have to love Mondays because Mondays are the beginning of the week. So if you wake up on a Monday morning and you say you don't like Mondays and you are grumpy and all of that, your productivity on that Monday is very low. Because your mindset is that I don't like Mondays. It stems from the Sunday,
you know. Sunday thinking that Monday is a working day. Monday you will be going to work, you wake up and a lot of things.
You should be excited about it.
Well, once you are alive,
get excited about it. So when you start the Monday with vim, say that, oh, I love Monday.
It reflects
this Monday is going to be a very nice Monday. It reflects on the work that you do.
I personally work on it, but I don't like Mondays.
So like Mondays.
Yeah, I'll try and like
next
Mondays.
Week Monday. When you come here, I should see you jumping
like
up and down with vim and vigor.
It will have to show.
Captain. Let's get into the legal matter, shall we? Let's get to the court.
Great.
So let's start with a recap of what happened.
Yes.
In court yesterday.
So yesterday we're talking about Cecilia Dapaah and then the special prosecutor.
Yes.
That two in one cases was expected in court yesterday, and for the first time yesterday, special prosecutor Kasoa Jaben, Madam Cecilia Dapaah, and husband Daniel Osei, all three were in court for the first time.
All of them were in court for the first time.
So that's Daniel Osei,
yes.
And then Madam Cecilia Dapaah interacting herself with a team of lawyers.
Yes.
And then after one of the court sittings, so that is the husband.
Is that Wilberforce and Sorry?
Yeah, that's Wilberforce and Sorry.
You'll be here in the
having interaction with Madam Cecilia Dapaah's team, and so that was. And then you can see the cars moving.
Yes.
Yes, that is the special prosecutor and the team. So they came in this.
So for the very first time, we saw Kasoa Jaben, Cecilia Dapaah, and
Daniel Osei,
her husband.
That's the special prosecutor and the team leaving the court yesterday after the sitting. And in fact, we were expecting two cases to happen. The one, the originating motion seeking confirmation orders from the court to ask it to continue to investigate Madam Cecilia Dapaah and also investigate her bank, some monies in her bank account. And then the charge that was preferred against her for failing to declare her financial assets within a 30-day period. Those two cases came up. But interestingly, yesterday, that case was held in chambers, in camera, so it wasn't open to the public. So whatever transpired between the parties in the judges' chambers, we were not privy to it. But what we do know after they had that engagement was that the case had been adjourned to the 25th of January for them to come. And before then, we tell you about the OSP thing coming to court and say that due to certain development, they were seeking an adjournment. And that development, if resolved, will actually resolve the matter before the court. So for me, before today, that is what we do know all the time. They have certain developments. So I'm sure the special prosecutor, not recently, he has an engagement with the judiciary, the Chief Justice, and so it's part of
all of them resolved that they were going to fight corruption together
in helping fight corruption.
Especially after his lamentations at the press conference about how the judiciary is
frustrated. So yesterday he made an appearance, and for the first time, all the parties involved were present in court. But what we can tell you is that the case had been adjourned to 25th of January, and the matter was also held in chambers, so we don't have much to tell you about what exactly transpired.
The matter was held in chambers?
Absolutely.
Oh, well,
so
we'll see.
25th they'll come. So that is in respect of the Madam Cecilia Dapaah and the OSP.
All right, then, so, yes, what else?
The Kasoa ritual murder.
The Kasoa ritual murder. Yes. We understand that the 15-year-old juvenile has closed his defense after the lawyers of the 18-year-old offender concluded their cross-examination.
Absolutely. So yesterday, he was in the witness box for the second time, and then he asked it to respond to questions. And one of the key questions that the lawyer for the 18-year-old asked him was what actually motivated him to pick the number from the TV station that he was watching. And his response was that the way and manner the woman who he saw in the video was counting the money, he was motivated by that particular money because where they were living at the time, he was not going to school. The father, the mother didn't have money for them. So he was motivated by the fact that once he take that step, he'll be able to get money. That is how come he picked the money to the number and went to the 18-year-old boy to, as it were, discuss with him. And then there was another question as to why when the 18-year-old suggested that they should use Ishmael, why did he not oppose to this? And at that time, his mind was made that he had to get money at all costs. So at that moment, there was no turning back. So we have to just go straight.
So he's like making a full confession that he predetermined
whatever was going to happen.
After he saw what happened on TV and the money which motivated him.
Absolutely.
And he had already predetermined that the young boy whom they killed for the rituals, they were going to use him.
For them,
so he had planned it out.
So for him, they think that he have made it. So there was no turning point at that to say that no, he's my friend and we are not going to use him. He said that
already made up
I want to get money, and because of the situation that we are in, the situation is that my mother didn't have money, we're out of school, and then my father also didn't have money. And the question was that, the father is a mason, and then he was a mason apprentice to the father. So the question was, are you saying that your father is not responsible? He said no, he's been providing, but it wasn't enough. So we just have to take that step.
Was his father in court?
The father, I told you about the fact that this very case is an emotional case, the case that if you are following and you don't have that heart, you break down at the point. The father came to court to testify against him. The mother was in court to testify against him. And his sister, his junior sister, was also in court to testify against him. And
what did they say when they were testifying against him?
All of them came to tell the court what they saw and what they knew and what happened after the whole incident. Remember that his sister, Amatsi, was the one that saw them in that uncompleted building and went and informed the mother. So that type of story, they came and then narrated to the court. And the mother also told the court how they discovered that they have actually killed somebody and buried the person. So they thought that it was a fowl. Probably they have killed a fowl and then they have buried it. So it was upon digging that they saw the human hand, and then they realized that it was the 10-year-old boy they killed. So he has been saying, he said for him, his conclusion was that they did whatever they did together, and then if the second accused person is saying that he didn't do it, for him, his story is that they did it. So he has closed his case. All that he wants to say, he has finished saying that. So it is now the turn of the second accused person, the 18-year-old young offender who has maintained his ground that he never knew anything about this whole story. He has done nothing wrong, and for him, he is innocent.
It's interesting that the younger one is saying that he had predetermined. The one who is younger,
yes, so
is saying that he had predetermined and this is what he wanted to do.
If you follow this story from the beginning, during the committals at the district court, Carnation District Court, what he said during the committal, everything was documented, and what he has said in the high courts during the trial, it is so consistent.
It's consistent. He maintained that both of them planned.
Absolutely. The only thing that was missing.
Whose initiative was it, according to the statements and the testimonies that have been given? So, whose initiative was it for them to kill young Ishmael?
It was both of them. So one person, he said he was with the father somewhere around soon in Sawem. And then they were working for somebody, and at a point in time they had to come back. The father came back home, and then he was there. So the father was supposed to return so that they would continue with the work, but at the point in time something happened, so the father couldn't come. So the father asked him to, as it were, come back home. On his way home, he met the 18-year-old boy, and it was like, go and come and let's have a conversation. And that was where the whole thing started. So the conversation actually led to one thing to the other. And upon watching the television, when he saw the adverts, and then people saying that, the lady saying that you can get money from Lucky TV, you can get money from all those things and other stuff. He picked the number. They picked the number. They went back to the 18-year-old, and this is what I have found. Then they called the number, and then the woman spoke to them and confirmed that we want 5,000 and a human head body. So once they are able to bring that, so that is where both of them were having a discussion. So who can we go? And they both said we don't have anybody. And then the 18-year-old said, but Ishmael is your friend. I said, yes, Ishmael is my friend. Can you get him? So that is when that whole plot to get Ishmael. So he lured Ishmael by saying that I have got you a game. Let's go so that you go and try it. And that was the end.
So sad.
Very, very sad. So yesterday, something very interesting happened. It's rather unfortunate that we don't have the video to show, but we'll try at the next court sitting together. You notice that I told you the mother, the father, and the daughter came to court. So these are uncles of the late Ishmael who were in court, and then Mr. Harrison in the nose mask over there. The mother, you notice that all the time when they appear in court, they cannot look at each other's face. because of the turn of events. Yesterday, the mother was in uncontrollable tears, and then after the court sitting, he went and hugged.
She went and hugged
her son. And then it was emotional turn of it, and then she started.
Wow.
She broke down. She broke down in tears.
I can imagine how traumatizing and emotional.
Very, very traumatizing.
This whole ordeal.
Because of the incident, they have found a way to have to relocate from the environment that they are, and for security reasons, we cannot mention where they are actually stationed.
But in all of this, the fetish priestess who told them to bring 5,000 cedis in a human body. Where is she?
So you notice that in the early stages, we were told that the police arrested the said fetish priest. Now, what happened was that they have to establish some kind of the level of communication that took place between them. So the number that they said they called, the police took the number, and then they took the number of the fetish priestess that was involved. They went to the telcos, went and to try and trace the kind of communication that took place, and there was no record.
There was no record
of any communication between the accused persons
and the number that
they said they called. So on that basis,
because of that,
we cannot do anything to the fetish.
Prosecute.
Absolutely. So the fetish priestess was let go. So that is how that side of the story ended. There was no trace of communication. There was no, and then the woman has also said to the police that he doesn't deal in situations like money, bringing human blood or bringing bodies for to, as it were, give you money. And he said no. But the ultimate goal is that there's no communication between the
because of that, there's no case
so there's no prima facie. You can't actually succeed. So that's how come they let the fetish priestess actually go. So 25th of January, this 18-year-old young offender will also have the honors to tell the whole world his story, why he is saying that he has no role in the death of the 10-year-old Ishmael Mensah Abdallah.
Anyway, let's move away from this and talk about what's coming up in court later today.
Absolutely. So you notice about this case involving the two gentlemen in your shots over there quite recently when we were having this effect of the Akosombo Dam spillage.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of people who were displaced and people were calling for support. In fact, the member of parliament for the area, Okudzeto Ablakwa, at a point had to find a way to create some artwork to try to seek for some financial support to assist in taking care of those who were displaced. These two gentlemen, as it were, smart enough, allegedly, managed to impersonate the MP. Managed to impersonate him, design their own artwork using the identity of the minister, and then they were sourcing money from the general public. So they succeeded in
how much money did they get?
It was not disclosed in court as how much money they got from that.
But they got money.
So it was they got some money. Yes, they got some money. So that was, as it were, brought to the attention of Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. Then he alerted the security agencies, and then the two were arrested. In fact, on the 15th of December was the first time that they were arraigned. Their plea were not taken, because the prosecution indicated that they were continuing with further investigations with that, so they prayed for them to be remanded, which the court did. So we'll be telling you, giving an update as to when
what were they charged with?
They were charged with charlatanic advertisements, impersonating the minister and then defrauding by false pretense. So we expect their plea to be taken. So these are the two guys, the cases that we should be expecting. So they didn't come with lawyers, so you see they are holding their own brief fact and a document. The charge sheet is what is in their hands. They will have to read. But they indicated to the court that they have lawyers. So the court is saying that they should ensure that their lawyers are present so that their plea will be taken. So as to whether they are guilty or not, in our subsequent bulletin, we'll bring that to our viewers. So these are the cases. This is the case that we should expect. Today is a Friday and not much is happening in the corridors of the judiciary. So
all right. Yeah. So this is what we are to expect.
Absolutely.
In court
today.
Later on today.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Murtala Inusah.
Great.
As always.
Absolutely.
AKA Captain.